What's up, guys? Welcome to the Acquaintance Circle podcast. I'm Steven, and this is Jameson and Alex, and this time we're going to talk about music.
I love that you know that we can't do our own introduction, so you introduce us. It's my
You
favorite.
didn't hear my class. My copy's not even going through.
Yeah,
Is
we
it?
could have, if we would have let it happen like last time, it would have taken 15 takes of us trying to figure out incoherence of who's going to go after who.
Yeah, it's true.
It was a
Yeah,
train wreck.
Yeah. All right. So, Steven,
of
since
course.
music was the big idea of you, start us off, buddy. What kind of music
I,
you into, buddy?
I
What's
mean,
going on?
overall, music-wise, I feel like I can listen to almost anything. I've definitely been a little, not very open to like listening to everything, but usually if it's on, I'll try listening to it. I feel like I listen to a little bit of like rap, country, hip hop,
Oh,
everything, even new age music, stuff like that. The only thing I
country?
feel like I haven't really looked into and like listened to a lot is like older music, like 70s and before that, 80s as well, 90s. Not really gone back into listening to it unless it's just already on somewhere. Um,
I
Not
would
even
definitely,
never in my
depends
life
on
will I
depends
listen
on
to
the
country.
90s. Really?
I will never listen to country.
Country is like the most hated thing in the world, I feel.
I
Country
can't
music
stand
people
it.
either love or they fucking despise it.
Listen,
Like,
country's where it's at. All right.
You're fucking
country
bugging.
concerts are lit. You can go to a country concert and not know any of the words, get smashed, and have a good time. And it's
It's
just about the vibe there.
smash in what way though?
Like you play Smash on your Nintendo
Mm,
Switch while you're there,
okay, okay.
and then you just have a good time because there's other people to play with because there's so many people at
Yeah,
the
yeah,
concert.
yeah. I thought so.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Well, those are the
Yeah.
outside
What
concerts.
else? What else would
Country
you say?
music is the best music. That's what it is. The
No,
best genre.
Are you being
no,
Easily the
serious?
best genre.
no.
Why would? Are you being legitimate or are you joking?
I'm being
He's
legitimate.
got it. No, nope, nope, nope. He's joking. Country's dog
Why do you
shit.
think it's the best? Why do you think it's the best?
Because I can't even think of. I hate country music. I can't even think of a reason.
Because
I fucking hate country music.
we live in the country.
We don't live in the country. I can't even think of a reason.
I mean, I will say it's definitely evolved. It's been
Yeah.
really weird. It's kind of like it's turned into like country, like hip
No, it's
hop.
the-
Basically,
actually no,
now
it's
it's weird.
actually it's
It's
devolved.
weird.
So country
It's
music,
so bad.
country music is I mean, I don't want to generalize too much because I don't know.
There's
I
always
don't
different artists in
listen
every
to
time. Yeah.
country music, but from what I've heard, it's either about women,
Tractors.
trucks slash tractors,
Or booze.
drinking, and more importantly, promoting drunk driving. There's a few songs that do that. And then American Pride.
Yeah.
And
I was
there's a
about to reference like Toby Keith and like people like that were like some of my favorite country artists. And what were they? Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue, American Soldier. Two
yeah,
very good songs. Amazing songs. But like American Pride type songs.
yeah, which I generally aren't the biggest fan of. Not to say you shouldn't have
You don't like
pride.
America, I understand.
I
I don't
I
either.
like I somewhat actually okay, I don't like America, but I like what America should be. I like
Stands
what
for.
America is supposed to be.
All right,
But
we're going to devolve really quickly from this, so we're going to move
All
on.
right, point is,
Yeah.
point
But, like,
is,
going back
music-
to the reason why I want to talk about music, I feel like music can definitely like define people's lives. Like it's like a very influential thing nowadays. And I feel like even back in the day, maybe it could have been like vibes, like when people went to like Woodstock and like crazy shit like that, and everyone had like their festivals and everything. But, like music, I feel like is something that can literally like help get you through life and like speak to you on a different level. And I feel like that's any sort of like content that like is out in the world, but especially music. I feel like music is something that can really touch people no matter what it is. Especially the fact that like I listen to music like NF, and NF is my favorite
NF.
rapper slash artist, and I feel like he definitely touches people and like changes their lives and like speaks to people on like how they feel.
You're
I knew
gonna
you were
laugh
not.
at that?
This man hates NF.
No,
He
Why do
despises,
you-
he despises him.
Steven,
Why,
go.
man?
Never mind. No, it's not why I'm laughing.
He's laughing because he despises NF.
Hold up. Well,
What?
I'm laughing because you said NF touches people. It's just funny. I'm
Are we not supposed to make jokes like that? Weren't you saying that?
I don't know why we keep him on here.
I don't
We're talking
either.
about like real life stuff, Talking about like how NF helps people with their problems.
Oh, he
And all Alex
touches the
can think about
people,
is
you know?
NF touching people.
Fucking
And I mute
gross, man.
himself because he's just thinking about it.
Okay, no, sorry. I got a phone call. He
Lying.
literally said it was just funny. Jameson,
Alex,
you used to write lyrics, correct?
of course, I make music now.
Okay, so you do. Actually, yeah, I think you did mention that.
Yeah,
Like a week ago.
In the last
the
podcast.
the mixtape is coming out in spring.
The mixtape is coming out in spring.
It is.
So this is the promotion for that.
Oh,
But
we love
what does
that.
that do? What does that do for you?
Man,
Personally?
I get everything out. Like,
In what way?
you know, I'm
Explain the process. Basically.
okay. So my process is I'll sit there, I'll feel some type of way, and like I'll just write, you know, and like I don't like look for a beat first. I actually make my own beats and shit too. So
Fuck.
like, I'll sit there, I'll write some shit, and then I'll like craft like what I think is a perfect beat for it. And I'll get into it and I'll just like start recording. And it's a lot of takes and shit, but like, you know, it's very therapeutic and I love it. That's the process.
Now, is it therapeutic for you? Because you know the stuff you're writing down, like the lyrics, and you're like getting specific emotions and feelings and more thoughts out, or is it like you know you go to like an EDM concert, just fucking like dancing like crazy, or like the fucking like mosh pits or like things like that, or like
Well, like
you just go outside and just start
it's
screaming. That's like a physical release. Is it like that, or is it the other one?
it's both. Like
Yeah.
it'll be like depressing. Like most of the shit that I write is like depressing. You know,
Most of
like
the shit anyone writes is
yeah,
the shit that's mostly written is depressing.
without a doubt. But like um kind of like an escape. Like I just sit there, I'll write shit, I'll get it out. The toughest part's like, you know, finding words to
Convey it.
not convey it, but like words that convey it and also go together
as
in like a rhyme
entertaining.
scheme.
Yeah.
I can't speak, but that's
It's a
like
creative process.
the thing. Yeah, it's fun. Like I recommend it for anybody,
That's
but
like
it's not like for everybody.
that's like the best part of like listening to NF is like you can like feel like the emotion and like everything he puts into his music. So I feel like that's like the route you're trying to go with it is like where you like
Oh yeah,
put
without
everything
a
you feel into the music.
doubt.
Because then like people can like feel like how you care about the music through the way you like have it like produced, like whatever you say in it, the beats you choose with it. Like people can feel
Without
how
a
much you
doubt.
feel about it in your own life and like feel it overall.
Bro, I'm
So I
not
feel
gonna
like
lie. There's multiple audio recordings of me just like breaking down in the middle of it all, man.
it
I'm just
happens.
I'll think back to you were just talking about like NF and shit.
Like, how
Like
could you leave us?
yeah, you know how it
Yeah.
just starts like crying in the chorus?
Yeah. Yeah, crying like getting the
Man,
song and everything with that. Yeah.
it is not fun. It's a lot of work. Like you gotta
And
get
the
like
thing
the
about
perfect
like
take.
and you think about like him thinking back to that too is like he talks about like just sitting in a hotel room just crying trying to write that song and thinking about it and it's just like how deep it can hit you like even though you're trying to like create for yourself to get express it and like get it out like it's still like painful the fact of going through that no matter what it is no matter what traumatizing thing or like whatever people are talking about it's
Yeah.
still hard to get through and that's where I feel like a lot of the music nowadays it kind of takes away from that because it's like more not like mumble rap stuff but like normal like rap nowadays basically it's like
Mm,
just stuff to distract you from life, I feel like.
Boo.
It's like the
without a
opposite of
doubt.
like going against what NF is. So it's like a lot of other artists just mostly just try to make like club songs and like stuff like that, which that's completely understandable. Like that's also a very viable thing to do because like people are always gonna need songs like that. Not everything can always be like deep and emotional or like rap with like bars and
Yeah, you need something to vibe to. Like when I said like half of like most of my stuff is depressing, like yeah, I'll have like my turn up songs, you know, like that's okay. It's like,
Steven, you're an elitist.
huh?
what?
Steven's a rap elitist.
Yeah, without a
What do
doubt.
you
I
mean?
mean, he listens to NF, man. You know, he
Nah,
gets it.
elitist is elitist is a bad term.
Why?
You're saying elitist because I'm talking about like in terms of like regular rap and like mumble rap.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I wouldn't say it's like the way you describe it because I understand the use of it and why it's made. Like I understand the reasoning behind it. So that's why I don't get mad at it or hate it. I just value it differently to myself because I feel like when I'm listening to music, I want my music that I like to mean something and like have like feeling behind it and emotion with it. So it's like I can listen to music like that. Like I can listen to any like random like club songs or like anything when it comes to like mumble rap. It's just not my preference to listen to on a daily basis, but I like it for what it's meant to be.
But what
That's
is
why
it
like
meant to be?
for me, I think it's just more of like good songs like for you to listen to, like whether because a lot of that stuff will be like based off of like the beat and the tone of the music. Like it's supposed to be like either upbeat, happy music or it's kind of like people just talking about like how they came out of like the ghetto and stuff like that and like made their life and like how they get
Yeah.
like went from
Came
where they
from
were to
nothing.
where they are. So like that kind of stuff, I don't hate it. It's just now I listen to all the time. Like you can go through like I have a mixed playlist of probably like 500 to 1,000 songs somewhere like that, and it has like a bunch of all the different type of music on there, including that. It's just like when it comes to what I want to listen to on a daily, it's either songs that like have meaning behind them, like lyrical songs, or it's like songs that have like bars and like rap and like actually having like rhyme schemes and like words that like fit together and everything like that, and like sound good and have like a lot of bars and like entendres and stuff like that. So I have nothing against mumble rap itself. I mean, I don't know what your stance is anymore, but I just kind of like it for what it is, and I don't try to compare it to regular rap now.
You gotta put it in its
You
like
get what I
own
mean?
genre.
It's like a
See, I
lot
don't
of
think you do that.
what?
I don't. I just. I don't think you do.
What do you mean?
I think. You know why? Like I love X.
Okay. I
I
also
love
love
X.
X.
I
Okay.
love X. Do you know why I love X? I don't really love his lyrics that much. I mean, he has some pretty good lyrics,
Oh,
Yeah.
but it's
okay,
not his
okay,
lyrics.
okay,
It's not his lyrics. It's his sound.
Well, that's what
Now
I'm
I'm
saying.
not, but I'm. Well,
okay.
hold up. I'm not. I don't even think he's a good singer. I don't think he's a traditionally at least good singer.
No, most of the songs nowadays it's about like the sound and the feel of like the beat and the bass and everything like that,
Yeah,
and like the
but
tune of the song.
you're kind of you're breaking it up into two parts. You're breaking it up into emotional, lyrical, real rap, or more traditional. I'm not saying saying it's the other stuff's not real
And
rap.
I separated lyrical rap that has
Yeah,
meaning
and
to it
that's
from other rap
yeah, but
and from
that's the
that.
thing.
It's all
That's the
different things.
thing. Meaning, what you're pretty much say is that mumble rap doesn't have meaning.
You're saying like deep meaning behind it to where like
Yes, that's what you're
you're
saying.
supposed to like resonate with it
And
basically.
I disagree with that immensely.
You think people resonate with mumble rap and
Yes.
like feel in touch with it?
Yes.
But
Now,
why?
resonate could be like a happy, like that could be club music, whatever. You could still, it's still resonating. That's what I'm talking about.
Saying like
I'm
resonating with the
talking about
lyrics
on a
is what I'm
deeper
talking about.
emotional level. And I get, yeah, it's not really lyrical necessarily, but it kind of is at the same time. Now, why do you listen to music? Okay, better question, actually, more specifically. So you listen to NF, right? When you experience when you intake in the NF experience, you listen to it.
Yeah,
Why don't you read it?
because it's music.
Yeah, it's music. But why? Why don't you read it?
So you don't have to because it's in MP4 format, so you
But
don't have to
would you
read
think
it.
it would hit the same if you just read the lyrics on the sheet of paper?
Depending on the song, you
It
could get
could.
the meaning out of it, but I don't think with any song you're really going to get the same feeling out of it versus
Exactly.
not actually hearing it.
Because the sound is what's important with music. The sound is truly what you resonate with. Now you
Yeah,
can hear a lyric and be like, yeah, no, I feel that.
well, that's what I was literally saying. I
Yeah,
said like
I
people listen to
I
yeah,
songs for like the
I
vibe or like the
get
way it
that.
feels.
I get what you're saying, but you're kind of also saying that you can't listen to like something like quote unquote mumble rap and feel like a deep, even like a sad emotion or like some kind of deep, very deep connection there. Now, my perception of mumble rap is it's actually the purest form of rap. It's actually more rap than something like NF or even like
Well, not
Eminem is my
necessarily.
favorite artist. And Eminem is my favorite artist. Everyone, you know this.
Yeah.
I would say it's actually a more pure form of rap.
What do you mean by
Because
pure? Like, what is your meaning behind
okay,
that?
because music is sound, right?
Yeah.
And when you look
Mhm.
at mumble rap, and I think a good example of this is Young Thug. Not that I listen to him that much, but like he's
Young
very
Thug, my boy
yes, I think
Thugger.
that too. Yeah. Him. I don't
Okay.
really listen to him that much. I've heard him. And I had a friend who I've discussed this with pretty extensively actually. He makes music too. Uh, but music is sound, right? And when you look at
Without a
mumble
doubt.
rap, like Young Thug, such influential figure in mumble rap or whatever you want to call it.
I
Uh,
don't even really consider mumble rap is like different to me. Mumble rap for me is like the Takashi 6ix9ine.
okay, but that's not
Oh,
okay.
six
That's the
nine.
shit stuff. That's
But
shitty
that's what
music.
I'm referencing. I'm not calling all other rap mumble rap. Like that's literally
Have
what
you
I'm
listened
talking
to
about.
Young Thug?
No, not really.
Okay,
Besides
he
anytime he's
is
ever been on
mumble
like I've only ever listened to him whenever he's been like a Fast and the Furious soundtrack. I'm not gonna lie. I don't
Okay,
venture that much into
What a
rap. It's
guy.
just
okay, but he is mumble rap. Something like Uzi. You think I know what the fuck Uzi's saying?
You're gonna sit here
80%
and
of the time.
disrespect Uzi like that,
No,
man?
listen. I love. I mean, he has some lyrics, but I'm gonna be honest.
All my
I'm not
friends are
deeply
dead.
connecting with
Push
the
me to
lyrics
the
that
edge, man.
that's one song. Point
this one.
is, I love Uzi. He's my top
It's
5 rappers of all
wild.
time. He's my top 5 rappers of all
He's
time.
top 5 for you?
Yes, I love Uzi more than
That's
Young Thug.
crazy.
But I would personally classify as mumble rap. But here's why I like him and other people like that, because it's breaking down what music is. Even when you look at something like language is really just sounds that we give meaning to, right?
Yeah. There's no classification for it technically.
But it's
It's
just
all
word.
open. It's all open in interpretation. That's the thing with music, is it can mean anything to anyone.
Okay,
And that's why, like,
Yeah.
I get that. But what I'm saying is, oh, that's a better example. Nier Automata, the soundtrack for Nier Automata, does not use actual words. It uses
Okay.
made up words, right? Literally made up words. I connect personally with the sound of that soundtrack more than 99.999% of music out there. Because
But why?
it's something, because it's an abstract feeling. It is hard to describe, granted. But it's the way that it enables the audience to really hear the emotion. You don't have to, you know, get the emotion from a lyric or a word you understand. It's like listening to Italian music, like Italian opera music. I prefer listening to music that's not in the English language, because other languages actually are, they're more geared towards music like Italian, French, things like that. And when you look at, someone like mumble rap, it goes back to the basics of language and how how language actually makes
you're
us
just
feel
more
emotion.
focused on the fact of the bass and the sound of it and the
It's not though. I
production.
mean,
It's a production now.
yeah, it is a production, but it's not just the bass. It is the words.
That's what I'm saying. Like the production of like the track is more what you're focused on for that. Then basically,
But
the lyrics are behind it.
sometimes you have to be like that though.
Yeah, I mean
Like how
that's why I said I don't look at it any differently. Like I don't look at it in a negative
But you
light.
are looking at it differently though.
I'm
You're
not.
looking
I'm
at it
like
not
how
looking at it.
Alex
as
said,
emotional experience.
if you like sit there and like read the lyrics instead of just listening to it, it really changes shit. And like the one song that like makes me realize that more than anything is like "Hey Ya" by Outkast, because like it's really fucking depressing, but it's like
Oh, I
it has
remember
that
hearing about
happy
that.
beat, man.
Yeah, it just changes
Like
it completely.
yeah, so it's fascinating. It really is a sound when you think about it. Because
That's
like
why like
people
I
just
don't.
dance to it. Like it was on fucking Just Dance, man. And I
Yeah,
was like 13, just like dancing,
So is that
rocking out
Uzi
to it,
song you
man.
were referencing?
Like
I mean, that's
yeah,
not just dance, but that Uzi song, that's a party song.
yeah,
But it's a party song completely despite the lyrics. So that kind of
yeah.
proves that the sound is the most important part.
It's
You know,
a very
and
viable element.
I
yeah.
listen to a lot of more lyrical. Or I used to listen to a lot more lyrical rappers.
Right.
I can't. I just can't. I find it hard now to do that, because I don't like the sound. First, I don't like listening to it, But I ask myself why I don't like listening to it. And I think it is a more abstract thing where when you break down language, I connect with that more abstractually than an actual word. You know, and it
Yeah.
connects with me emotionally. And it can be a sad song, you know? It's like X. I don't think X is like, I mean, obviously his songs are sad lyrically, but that's not what I connect to emotionally with it. It's the sound. It's his voice. It's how he's portraying it, you know? I hate
Yeah.
his other like actual like more like I guess you could call hard songs. I hate his other songs. I think they're terrible.
Why?
I just don't. I don't like him. But
But
like,
it's
yeah,
oh, it's so
I get what
good,
you.
man.
But it's passionate. It is emotion.
It
That's
like
emotion, like boiled down. Like at some point, the lyrics kind of aren't even like necessary. It's like a really good movie, like a really good directed movie. You don't have to say it; you show it. It's the same with music. You're not saying it; you're showing it by appealing to the sound, and the emotion that lies within that sound. That's why I think mumble rap is just as emotional, or like it can be just as sad or just as poignant or as deep or whatever you want to call it as more conventional rap like NF. And I find
Well,
that more conventional rap I don't really like listening to.
that's why I was trying to get back to the point of that originally, was because you've ever actually listened to NF, like the
Yes, I
production.
have.
I'm saying if you have actually listened to NF, the production quality with that to like make you feel the music even more is what I was trying to reference to. That's why I don't take away from songs like that. Lyrically, you can vibe with the song and like feel it deeply. I know you can also feel with a beat. Because if you ever listen to NF, like you don't even have to be paying attention, and then just the way the beat just carries it, or
Okay,
like the
hold on.
way like the tones and everything with it.
You're not getting my point though.
I
Because you keep saying the beat. I'm not talking
I'm
about the beat.
saying the production,
I'm not talking about the production. I'm talking about the
the sound.
actual lyrics in the song.
how they're
And maybe they're
pronounced,
incomprehensible
or
lyrics, so if you even want to count them as lyrics, but literally what the rapper is saying in the song, that's what I'm talking about. That is the breaking down of language. And Young Thug has gotten a ton of like, critical praise for doing that. Like, going.
there's good songs where like by mumble rap where it actually kind of gets a point across. But then I'll sit here and I'll think about like Lil Pump and Gucci Gang, man. Like the
Yeah, but
whole
you could.
time,
I
man,
mean,
my
you can
boys
look
just
at
sitting here saying
you
Gucci
can look
Gang.
at MGK, like if you want
I
to look
wouldn't,
about
I
more
wouldn't, I
traditional
wouldn't say
rap.
MGK is a mumble rapper.
No, he's not. That's what I'm saying. He's
Yeah.
a more traditional rapper, but he sucks. Yeah, I
Well,
think he's
yeah.
garbage. But
I mean,
like,
he got
yeah,
fucking bodied by Eminem.
every song's gonna have even Eminem, half his songs suck. I'm gonna be real. They suck. He's also not even
Yeah.
really saying anything. If you want to talk about lyrical, he barely, I mean, sometimes he does. Most of the time he's really not. And this is a big difference between this could be a hot take. I hate
Oh god,
Tupac.
not a hot take. Huh?
I hate Tupac.
What?
Never
I
listened
I used
to,
to I used to love Tupac. I can't listen to him anymore
Why?
because, and I will say this with a grain of salt because I have not obviously heard all of his songs. I used to be a pretty big fan. I probably heard around like I used to listen to songs like a decent amount, so I know a good amount of that. And from my experiences personally, I don't like his sound. I think when it comes to rap, I think the most important thing when it comes to even like more lyrically driven rap or non mumble rap, whatever you want to call it, is rhyme scheme. His is very simple from what I've heard.
So you're gonna
Very
sit here and
simple.
tell me that you don't like Tupac?
Yes. No, I'm not. I'm not saying he's
Like,
not super
actually
influential. Like,
though.
I mean, I don't hate him as a person. Like, I respect what he did, but personally, his actual music itself, I can't listen to it. It's boring. I find it very boring.
But that's
When you
like
compare,
old school.
no, but you compare it to someone like Biggie, his rhyme scheme was insane. Eminem, that's why I love Eminem so much because his rhyme scheme is literally so complex when you break it down. It's insane, and it
Well, now we're
contributes to the
talking
sound.
about like music theory.
I mean, yeah, but that's all part of it.
Well,
You know.
yeah.
Also, this has kind of been talking about music theory, low key. So we started talking about mumble rap, but I like rhyme scheme, and when it's too simple, that's a part of the reason why I don't really like NF or I don't like a lot of more lyrically driven rappers for that. It's a personal preference, obviously, but it's
I
for
get
that
that.
reason because I
Can't be
think the
mad.
rhyming scheme is super simple, and then when the rhyming scheme's not, and it's like those. I call them Facebook rappers. Like I used to like futuristic. Now I don't because I
Oh,
think
I used to love
I
futuristic.
used to love him, but now like he rhymes so much, and it's in a very cheesy way. It's really hard to describe, but when it goes to rappers like NF, I think the rhyme scheme's too simple. That's why I don't like the music,
And I respect that.
and that's why I don't like Tupac. I can't listen to his music, and I used to
Never
love him.
really listened to Tupac when it comes to like futuristic and stuff like that. Like he mostly just goes to the bars where he just forces it way too much.
He tries to go
Or
fast. It's like cool.
well, that too. That's
But
also where
like,
it's a thing where it's like the speed rapping. Like if you listen to like Speed 'em and like Worldwide Choppers, like they do it fast, but a lot of people just say nothing while doing it fast, and that's where it kind of like draws a line where it's a little bit different, to where it really doesn't like add up to anything. But I will say, like when it comes to like NF, like the amount of like flow switches and like the rhyme scheme is usually very different for his songs. I'd say, like he'll switch up his rhyme scheme like several times within songs. But like in general,
yeah,
like the YouTube rappers, stuff like that, which is a genre I've looked into a lot with a lot of like last couple of years. But I'd say futuristic kind of like fits in between those two, where he's not really a YouTube rapper because he kind of like made it out on like tours and stuff like that, and he ended up getting a little bit bigger from his like nerd videos where he's like going around the campus rapping and stuff like that. But I get what you mean, to where
those
like they're
shits
kind
were
of just like
gold.
saying whatever. Yeah, those were like the peak of like YouTube and like
Well,
rapping.
that was face. Was he even on YouTube? I remember from Facebook.
No, it was on YouTube and shit.
Those were YouTube. They're just put on Facebook and stuff
And
as well.
like
I thought about
Token.
Facebook.
Oh man, I love Token.
Token's one of my favorite rappers.
I
I
don't
don't
like.
think
Token's
I
there's
don't
anyone
like
fucking
close.
Token.
I
solid.
love I love Token. It's just disappointing that he hasn't really done anything in the last 2 years.
Did you hear his
Um,
song with Tech Nine, YouTube
YouTube
rapper?
rapper.
Oh
Yeah, no,
my
I loved him.
god,
I literally like I
Wait,
went to see him in
no, no, no,
Columbus.
no. I think
fucking
it's
love it.
Um, well, even like the OG Token, like that's why I'm not I'm not saying music has to have meaning, but it's like you think about like I'm guessing you guys have listened to Exception by him.
Oh
no.
yes,
He talks about like shooting at the kid that shoots up the school and everything like that,
yes,
and like what he went through with like the process
Wait, he
of
talks
like.
about what?
So his video Exception is a song where he's raps it from his perspective. He's a third person, and the like third person part of it. He's there, but he like watches the kid in his class get bullied by like his two other kids, and it goes through like the whole story about like him were friends in the beginning, and then originally he stopped being friends with him, and then this kid was getting bullied so much that he came in with a gun and shot the two bullies, and then he shot Token next, talking about everything like that. And that was basically the whole song that goes on, is just watching this kid get bullied and go through all this stuff and talking about his life and like how he's been treated so badly. And then if you ever watch the Token Sway in the Morning freestyle, the second one he puts up, um, he does a 10-minute freestyle, and at the end then he goes a cappella and he talks about how the Florida school shooting that happened. I forgot which one, I think it was Parkland. And when
yeah.
that happened, that the last video the dude ever watched was Token's Exception video, where he talks about the kids shooting up the school. And like that's why I wasn't necessarily saying that like the lyrics need to be like emotional for me to want to listen to it. That's why I listen to a bunch of different music, because you can get the feeling from all different types of music. I know obviously you're talking about the words and like the way it gets like said and everything like that, but like listening to that is like stuff that like can draw two different lines for people. Like when I listen to like NF and stuff, like it technically is sad lyrics and about sad stuff most of the time. But like I don't even get sad about it. It's just more about like introspective thought when I listen to stuff like that. Just getting
Yeah,
into the moment, listening to music. And that's why like Exception like makes me think of that all the time. Cause like that's like really deep, fucked up topic. And then like especially being like the artist and like how real it's like hits to them. Like the fact that like he was talking about like how he has like flashbacks he never had, like how everything happened, and like he sees everything going on like in his brain, like he can't sleep because he thinks about stuff like that.
What
Where his music,
flashbacks? That's what I'm
like,
asking.
no, he like imagines stuff in his head about like being at the school shooting.
Token.
Yeah,
yeah,
because like
Okay.
he talks about the fact that like the kid, like the last video he ever watched before he shot up the school was his video.
Oh, okay.
this is
Like that was
fantastic.
like the way that like takes an artist so deep, like where they're trying to do something good and like trying to convey a problem in the community, and like then he thinks like is this all worth it? Like, was this what I really wanted? And like, was this the goal in the end? But that's why I was thinking about like the fact like any music can really be deep, especially depending on like where you're thinking and what you're going through and stuff like that. And like anyone can connect to any music, especially if it is mumble rap or regular rap or
Rap,
lyrical rap, just rap,
country
hip hop in
music.
general. EDM, people that go to festivals for like whole weekends and just get
I hate EDM.
blasted.
I fucking hate
I've
EDM.
never listened to it. Like I don't take the time to listen to it, but I like understand why people like it. Like I
I used to
understand like the vibe of it.
I used to say it's not music, and that was the dumbest thing I've ever said, but I still hate it.
Yeah. Because it
Except for
is
Daft Punk. Daft Punk's like the best thing ever.
Huh?
Daft Punk,
Like,
the group,
yeah.
the duo.
Yeah.
Random Access Memories is probably the greatest album ever made. Or there's no greatest album ever made, but like my favorite.
yeah.
And I hate EDM, so that's saying
I've
something.
never really listened to it like in an actual like direction of it. I basically like if it's ever came out at like a party or a bar or something like that, it just is what it
I
is.
have no idea what that even fucking stands for.
Random Access Memories.
No, stupid.
EDM?
Yeah.
Oh, electronic dance music.
Yeah.
Oh.
Where did you get what?
I think it's. I don't know if it
I'm
even counts
fucking.
EDM.
I'm
I
not
don't know.
even gonna lie. It was
Honestly,
a very dumb decision to drink.
It's almost like I told you
it
not
generally
to.
is.
It's almost like I told you not to for this exact reason.
I just never knew what EDM was.
I don't really listen to it, so
I don't
look
know
it
if
up.
Daft Punk is dance music. Actually,
I
I
feel
want
like
to
it
bring back
has to
up
be.
I want to bring back up the token thing.
Okay.
Would you say that? Well, so I was gonna ask him like, would you say that music or like entertainment or anything is even like
Good job, Steven. I'm proud of you.
Is even worth it? Because like it
Because
can
there's
have
no.
such negative it can have such negative drawbacks, but like that's
You
also
can say that about
entirely
anything.
well. That's entirely first
It
of all, that's
would.
entirely inaccurate because that's low key blaming token for that, which is like
So like.
not the case. Like it's obviously I don't want to make it seem like I think that like it's obviously not his fault. It's like
It goes like that with anything, though.
well, yeah, it does. I mean, that's
Have
like the
you
fucking like John Lennon thing with
have you ever
Catcher in the Rye.
seen have you ever
Wait,
seen the
what'd you say?
JCS shit?
Wait, go back. It cut out when he said it goes like.
Who said that?
Jamie
You.
said it goes
Oh.
like and then it
Oh,
cut
I'm
out.
sorry.
It's all good.
I said it goes with anything really.
Yeah.
Then I was asking if he ever saw the like YouTube video, like the JCS shit, where they interview what the fuck is his name? School shooter, Nicholas Cruz. That's what it is. They were like asking him like what songs he was listening to like during shooting up the school. And the one song was like Salad Days or some shit. And my sister listens to it. So like, and that genuinely sounds like a decent song. So like, would it be on them for making a song like that?
No, I don't think you can put. I really don't think you can't.
I don't
put
think you
that.
can really blame any media that comes out because like the fact of like it's all put out for open to interpretation. Like they don't put
like
out
it's not the artist's
it's not
fault.
meant to be directing someone to do something like that. Like it's just kind of put out as open media.
You can. I mean, I think there's some media where it's like okay.
Where if it's literally like shit, like the only way it's like a bad thing is if it's literally telling you should be allowed to do this and you're okay.
I mean, it's like Nazi propaganda. That's
I used to fucking sit here and listen to Tyler the Creator, man. And like one of his songs said, "Kill people, burn shit, fuck school, bro." I'm not out here killing people, burning shit, and saying fuck school. I mean, I kind of did say fuck school because I dropped out, but like,
yeah,
I'm not killing people or burning people. You know what I mean? So like, if people like take it that way, then I feel like that's on them. Like you can't really sit there and blame the artist.
Like I said, I think there's some cases where I'm not gonna say blame the artist, but
yeah,
I don't know if there's some music that should be made. Like I said earlier, I love Eminem so much, but like I do find it hard to listen to
A lot of his older
a
stuff.
lot of his song. I mean, you listen to a song like Kim,
Yeah, like
and
it's like a lot of his older stuff, and he like clearly like
it's
it wasn't in the right mind, nor
yeah,
was it
but
really it wasn't really
I
good
mean,
music to listen to and think about,
it's
like
not even
understanding what
good.
it is.
First of all, it's not even a good. It's isn't even a song. It
Well, that's
is,
why
but like, I mean, even as his first,
enough or Eminem, I will say he had a lot of songs. Like even it goes back to Infinity and stuff like or Infinite. I don't
if it was
listen to a
not like
lot. I don't listen to a lot of that music. But
I
I will
fucking
say
love it.
overall, if we're talking about like bar for bar and like rapping, I feel like he would have to be the best rapper of all time.
okay,
He did a
but
lot of bad songs that are like don't fit any meaning or anything or aren't really good, which I agree to. I've never like been a diehard fan of every single song he's dropped. Honestly, I think there's only like two artists I've ever loved every song I've heard, and that'd be NF and Kid Leroy. Besides that, I don't know if there's any artist I've listened to that I love every single song that I've heard. Um, so that's
yeah,
why I feel like it's just always like it is, especially some of his songs like that, like Kim. They're really like hard and like gritty and not even really like music. It's weird.
yeah, but my issue here is that, and I get a lot of his songs are supposed to be satirical, you know, like
Yeah.
he says a lot of things about, especially in his earlier music, he says a lot of things about gay people,
Yeah.
and I get that's supposed to be satirical. I'm not gonna say what's acceptable to that group of people or not, because I'm not obviously not in that group of people, so I don't really
Like
have much of a say there. But you look at a song like again Kim, is that satirical? I mean, he he's
I
just
mean, you also have to look
screaming
at it.
like
Yeah, also you have to look at it like that was put out in what, like
two
2004?
2000 no
MMLP
2000.
was 2002
Wait,
because
what?
the Eminem show was like 2004, wasn't
No,
it?
Eminem shows 2000. The Slim Shady LP is 1999. The Marshall Mathers LP is 2000. Eminem shows 2002. Encore 2004. It was on Marshall Mathers
It was on
LP.
LP, so that was
So in
2000.
2000. And I get things are a little more acceptable. I'm not even talking about like what's socially acceptable. It's just for me personally. It's like
This was like different. It wasn't like a
he's
normal song that was there.
literally talking about
About just killing his
murdering
wife. Yeah,
his ex-wife, and it's not in like a satirical like, oh, I'm trying to be funny way. It's like he's
yeah.
screaming. And like
Yeah.
she's like it has like a voice. I think it's him voicing. I don't remember, but like screaming in pain as she's getting fucking murdered.
I
And
mean,
like
he
even on
was he was
even on,
crazy.
even on the Slim Shady EP, my favorite album by him probably before
I
the
mean,
LP.
mine is MMLP too. I think I'd have
Are
to say
you
overall.
fucking okay? We're not even gonna talk about the
Actually,
disgrace. We're not even gonna talk about the
It's
disgraceful
between that and
opinion.
Recovery for me.
All right,
Uh,
I'm leaving. Oh, those are like the two worst. Those are the two worst albums,
oh my
except for the new
god,
shit. Except from like,
I think
I like Curtain Call.
that's not really an album.
Fuck off, it is to
It's a
me.
greatest. It's a greatest hits album.
Yeah, fuck off.
There's like one
Leave
original
me
song.
alone.
It's Fack. What are you talking
I love
about?
Fack.
Okay.
Fack is great.
Okay. Actually, okay. Well, let me finish my point. Then see, we're gonna go to that disgraceful opinion of yours.
Yeah, whatever, man.
It's a lot of his music. One of my favorite albums by him is Relapse, and a lot of
looking through album by album right now to take a look at it.
a lot. What?
I'm looking at it album by album. Like,
Yeah.
Are you? I'm about
Relapse
to
is
do
one
the
of my
same.
Relapse. I already know all the songs by off the top of my head.
Wow,
Relapse
you're
is
so good, man. You're so
I'm a
cool.
big fan. I'm a big fan.
Oh,
like I
I'm
said.
sorry. I branch out in like different kinds of music, man.
Never. It's all Eminem. But here's the thing. Here's
Gotta
the thing.
go.
Relapse is one of my favorite albums by him because of the rhyming scheme. I think is literally genius. But some of the songs, I mean, it's I can't really support. It's honestly what Eminem stands for the most, to be quite honest. Like I think like if you had to say the majority of what he talks about is like things like that, which I can't really support. So these days I even kind of find it hard to say Eminem is my favorite artist of all time because like either half his songs are shit or they're just
offensive.
I don't want to say offensive because I'm not offended by it. but it
But
is
other people
promoting.
are, and that's why.
But we're going back to we branched off to this topic because we're talking about like music that influence people and to do bad things. And I'm not saying it's Eminem's fault if someone like does something, murders his
shady.
ex-wife, but
Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. By
Like
the way,
Stan.
it's Encore, not Curtain
that's
Call.
what that's what I thought you meant.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I'm a
if
fucking
someone
idiot.
listens to a ton of Eminem and ends up killing his wife or something like that or whatever, I
Uh,
do think when Eminem has crossed the line to where some of the blame is on him. I think it does influence people like that, and he talks about that in Stan. So it's not like he's not aware of that,
No, like embraces it basically, and like
But
cultures it.
should he embrace it? that's my
Not
question.
Well, why
necessarily.
not?
Because now an ex-wife a death might have been prevented. Getting back to
Yeah.
your thing here. Let me explain this better.
Okay, explain
There's
it
a
better.
line. There is a line.
Okay.
Right. A song like Token does not cross that line.
Eminem lives on
If
the
you
other
look at
side
something
of
like,
that
let's say
line.
South, what?
Eminem lives on the other side of that line.
He kind of does. You look at something like South
Yeah.
Park. I don't think South Park crosses the line.
Huh?
That's where I feel like when we're talking about like Eminem, it's not like
a lot of it's
South Park?
context.
when it comes
South Park has the context.
when it comes to Eminem, I don't really think I don't think I'd be offended by saying he's like I don't think I'd be like ashamed to say he's one of my favorite rappers or
I'm not
is my
ashamed of
the
it.
best rapper, but one of my favorite artists. Because like listening to him, like you know what you're listening to. It's not like you're listening to a rapper that was like clean, good, like only promoted good things, and all of a sudden came out of nowhere and said, "Kill your fucking pregnant girlfriend." Like he's like,
Actually, he did do that, but that's another topic for it. Have you listened to Infinite?
Yeah.
no, not that much.
I've listened to the
I'm
entire
listening
album.
to a decent
Probably my
amount.
second favorite album by him. It's clean. It's as goody two shoes as it fucking gets. He only started saying edgy stuff because it make them more marketable. Not more marketable. It made him stand out more.
Well,
And
without
other
a
shit
doubt
that
it did.
Exactly. It's why it blew up.
You
Yeah,
go to
like
some
his most
shitty LP
memorable
and it goes
shits
right
like
to,
that.
it goes right to Guilty Conscious, and My Name Is. So yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
that's the LP. The EP.
I'm saying it
is
goes
what-
right. I'm saying it goes to that, right? When is the EP?
The EP is between the LP is
Infinite
like
and LP.
the LP is his first like official album by
Yeah.
Dr. Dre, but there's two before that, Infinite and some shitty EP. And the EP had a lot of the songs that are on the LP, but it had some that got cut or they just sound like Bonnie and Clyde sounds different. It's also called something else, which is a song about Eminem going with his daughter and sinking his wife's. I think he was still with her at the time. I'm pretty sure sinking his wife's body in a lake. And like like I'm saying, I'm not saying you can't make a song about that. There's tons of media out there that's like has way more fucked up shit.
Basically, either way, he's not a role model.
But
And
it depends on yes, but it's
But people are going to use him as a role model, and that's what I get what you mean, where it's not stuff that people should be looking up to and thinking about and using in real life. But some people do because some people idolize people, especially for fucked up things. Like think about like on TikTok how people talk about like the kids that like kill their parents or kill their family. And people are like, oh my gosh, they should be let go. They're attractive, or oh my gosh, they can never do this.
like
And they
the
like start to
weirdos.
idolize them then because they view them differently just by image.
The fucking
And
people
then
that
they
are
try to,
like
like,
in
follow
love
them.
with like that were in love
The
with like,
killers.
Ted Bundy and shit.
yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucked up, it doesn't mean fucked up people. I'm saying fucked up people
Yeah.
do fucked up things. And like I said,
They
Eminem is
attract other people to like idolize them and like either follow in their footsteps, like copycat killers, or they
It's
just
like
kind of just idolize what they did.
that's
and what
literally
they
what Stan. That's entirely what Stan is about.
I feel
I'm just
like
messed up.
things like that, like people who idolize people that they shouldn't. It's more of like a cult following. Not like a
Yeah.
fandom kind of thing, you know what I mean?
It's not like an overall basis. It's like the smaller
Yeah.
division of people.
Yeah, but
Like I can sit here and be like, man, I'm a fucking diehard M fan. But like then you'll get into the people that are like, yeah, man, like he's spitting real shit. I'm gonna kill my ex-wife. Like what?
Yeah,
That's
but there are
the
those
cult
people.
following shit. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
There's always the
That's
people
the
for
freaky
everything in
thing.
life.
There is. I'm just saying. I think
He is a lot more
cross-
severe of a message, and I think that's the thing where like it definitely crosses the line if you look back and now like think of like all the not all the rappers, but all like the comedians and stuff that have gotten canceled for stuff they said in the past.
Yeah.
And it's like, it might have seemed more okay then and wasn't really judged as much then, but because media has expanded and like everything's kind of changed with social and like the social standing in the world and social construct and how things are okay to say and things are not okay to say, that like looking back at like Eminem now, it wasn't really the best stuff to say then, but looking at it now, you're like, yeah, it's really fucked up and really shouldn't have been said.
I mean,
I feel like the envelope.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's been fucked up. You acknowledge that. Yeah, that's what he did.
I feel like the envelope needs to be pushed like that, though. You know what I mean?
It does. But does it have to be pushed in the direction of killing your wife, raping people, killing and harassing gay people? And some of his songs are kind of racist.
Well, yeah, like
in that direction, you know?
It doesn't, but at the same time, we can't. This was 15 years ago, like plus basically.
Okay, was that stuff ever okay 15 years ago? Was it? And I was it okay? Of course, it never was. But was it even deemed as acceptable? No. That's why he blew up, because he's like, oh, he's different. He's you know, that's why he blew up. He blew up.
Is that why like kids like you try to?
My thing is, I feel like
Alex is the real.
Just think about it though. Like, imagine if he didn't do that though. Would we know him? Probably not.
Probably not. I get that.
Probably not.
Is that a justification?
Of course.
It's not just selling out. I mean, he actually has a song about. I know all his fucking songs.
Well, if you're talking like selling out, I'm thinking about like Shaq and like fucking Icy Hot. I'm not thinking like, oh, let me say this.
Eminem has a song where he talks about selling out. In fact, that's why there's a whole theory about he sold his soul to like the fucking Illuminati devil or something. There's a whole theory on that because he has songs that are kind of about that. You know, so is that? I'm not necessarily saying Eminem is like some like shitty person. I don't know him. I can't say that. I'm just saying his messages come without the context that something like maybe like a horror movie or like a South Park have or something like that, you know? And I think you talk about pushing an envelope. I think it's pushing in the wrong direction. And I'm not like you can cover a lot of things under the umbrella of comedy. And that's like a much more complex situation that like I don't even really know my full opinion on. But as much as he could try to say it, I'm gonna go back to the example of Kim. That's not comedy. He's clearly expressing a very deep, real emotion he has in a very aggressive way, and I'm glad he's gonna do that through his music.
Okay, but like my question for you would be, did he do it?
No.
Okay, and if you get frustrated or angry at somebody, right? You could say you could say mean things, right?
What was that song where the guy was talking about riding around with his friends and talks about killing them, and he like actually got caught for like killing his friends? It was like neither of you know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea. But like you've been like in a position before where you've been angry, correct? And like you've probably said things out of spite, like, "Oh, fuck you," like I'll kill you or some shit.
Well,
are you gonna do it?
I've never directly told someone I'm gonna kill you.
But have you sat there and thought, like, man, I'd kill this person? Did you act on it?
Oh, murder on my mind.
Oh, by Melly, yeah.
Melly, and he killed his friend.
There's the fucking the lead singer of some band like killed a bunch of people.
It made me think when you said, "Did he actually do it? Did he actually kill his wife?" I'm like, well, Melly did.
Melly did. No, there is this. It's a band. I don't know the name, but I think it's the lead singer. He killed a bunch of people or whatever. I forgot exactly what he did. But a lot of his song titles were literally the crimes that he committed.
I think I saw about that. Yeah, I saw about that.
It was like a Twitter thing. It was like, we never saw this coming, and then it was like, meanwhile, it's a screenshot of all his most popular songs. It was literally everything he did.
Yeah, it was like a Spotify like top 5
playlist. One of his songs was like, "I have a dead body." In
my I know exactly what you're talking about. Where like there's corpses in my backyard or some shit like that.
And there literally was, which is fucked.
Well,
But,
like
that
it comes down to like getting it out, you know. And like that, I feel like I think about it more because you know, I
Writing
actively
and
sit here
stuff.
and I make music, you know. And like I'll sit here, I'll just like talk about things that are like depressing. Like my shit. What was I gonna say? My involvement with like drugs and stuff. Um I'll fucking talk about that. But
beautiful.
that doesn't mean like
It's not like he's saying he's
I
supporting
want
doing
to go.
drugs now.
Yeah, I'm not supporting it. I'm just like talking
Yeah,
about it because you know
talking
I
about it.
lived it or like that kind of thing.
Basically the original concept I was trying to get to when we first started music talk was that music can influence you in many different ways, can like help you a lot, help you get through things you never would have thought you could get through. And music is just like an output that like helps you learn about yourself and media people around you and maybe have a better understanding of
Yeah,
stuff in life.
like man, I had my run in with different types of like pills. Like I'd be like popping fucking perks and shit. Like I feel like it's up to yeah,
So,
you get it, you get it.
Molly
But like I feel
Perks.
like it's up to the listener. Like
But do you chase
I
a
could sit
chick,
here and make
never
a
chase a
whole
bitch?
song. Yeah, I could sit here and make a whole fucking song about my experience with drugs and shit, and like people could just be like, "Man, I never want to do that," or they could sit there and be like, "Man, that sounds like the fucking life." I feel like that's
Like
not
white
up to
trash
me.
party.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I get what you're
Project X.
I
Damn, but
get
now
what
I
you're
really want to throw a huge party, how huge banger and get SWAT to show up.
I get what you're saying, James.
Right.
Uh, but I to me, it's a lot of it's about context.
I get that. I do get that. Like if I'm sitting here like making it seem like it's the life, man. Like, oh yeah, pop perks daily, and I feel amazing. Like people are gonna obviously be like, all right, shit, let's fucking do it. But if I'm
You
sitting
know,
here like
a lot of
talking about
people,
all the stuff,
you know,
other stuff.
a lot of rap or hip hop does that, and I don't.
They make it
I,
like idolized basically.
yeah,
Hmm.
I guess you could. I'd probably count it too as unethical music, but I just don't think it's as bad. Like at the end of the day, it is all up to the listener. The
Yeah,
listener is the person who gets emotionally connected to the song. They're the one who interpret
That's
whatever
how
they
you
want,
perceive it, yeah.
abstractly, lyrically, whatever. You know, at the end of the day, it's their responsibility. Or if it's like kids, at the end of the day, it's their parents' responsibility. You know, I don't think video games cause violence. Probably not.
No.
But you know, at the end of the day, it's their parents' job to keep them off that.
yeah.
And that's the left side of the line for the most part. There's a few things on the right side. I mean, there's a what you show me the song "Dancing with the Devil."
Oh, by Immortal Technique.
Yes,
Yes,
and
yes.
I mean, you know, the
God, I
song
love that song.
is about gang violence,
Gang
killing people.
initiation, raping a woman.
I mean, spoiler alert. And also make sure we are trying to talk about this a little bit. Make sure you we'll talk about that after. But
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
he does rape his own mother at
Yeah,
the
and he
end of
ends
the
up
song.
killing himself, taking his life.
Yes, he jumps off the roof.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite songs ever.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
It's
It's
an
amazing
amazing song.
storytelling.
So I'm not saying you can't talk about suicide, rape, violence, killing people.
You said it's context.
It's this. If you listen to the song, it's clearly shown as a bad thing. Like it's very clearly, it's literally called "Dancing with the Devil," and it's about context. And I do think a lot of you know a lot of what people are trying to quote unquote cancel or whatever nowadays doesn't really take context into account. It's more of that's kind of a problem I have with it. It's more of, oh, this piece of media talks about this in some way or includes this topic. It can't be allowed, that kind of thing. I'm not saying that I don't agree with that at all. I think songs like Dance with the Devil are great songs,
I
but it
forgot I
is
showed
about
you
the
that
context.
song.
You did in like 2014, 2015, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the context,
It's like you guys ever see Joyner Lucas? I had to look it up. Joyner Lucas Ross
Yeah,
Caprioni. Capione.
love that
It's
song.
like Joyner Lucas, where he talked about like a kid that like moves to this new school and he like makes friends with this kid, and he's like basically tells a story through like the one kid and the other kid's perspective, both at different times. And like the song basically is going through the fact that like this kid is new at school, like he becomes friends with the other kid, they become really close, and then one day the kid that went to the school originally, like they go out, like he drives them out, and then literally shoots and kills the kid and leaves him for dead.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the fucking like actual interview about the story?
No.
That's a real story.
That's what that's what I figure. Like songs like that where they bring it to light and like give it
You should watch
attention.
you should watch the interview on it, like with the actual
I'll look it
guy
up.
that was just shot and left for dead. Like he ended up surviving, and
Yeah, and
it's nuts.
that's
Like
fucked
storytelling
up.
music like that is like
Great
nuts.
song.
But
Great
it's
song though.
definitely
That is
music that
definitely
should be
that's
out
my
there.
favorite. No, my second favorite Joyner song.
I do like it.
I will say I'm Not Racist definitely was like a huge thing in the moment. Like when I'm Not Racist came out and
Good
like
song.
basically started like all that stuff going on. And,
Definitely love. I'm in love with I'm Sorry. That
I
that
didn't
song
listen to
is
that a lot. I liked it. I wasn't obsessed with it, but I liked it a lot.
being like depressed and like in that mindset. I definitely resonated with it. I'm like, man, what the fuck?
That's also where I feel like it also depends on like where you are in that point of life. That's why when I say that when it comes to Eminem, that like my favorite album was MMLP2, it's not because I thought it was the best. It was because in that moment, it was just like what I listened to the most. And I felt like I resonated with like listening to that music. Like I felt like in the moment, like I just got connected. Like that was like the first, because before I wasn't allowed to listen to Eminem. Like when Crazy, I think it was The Town came out, was Not Afraid was like the song for The Town. When I saw that, my parents wouldn't let me listen to Eminem because like they knew the meaning behind his music and like how like fucked up it was, and they didn't want me listening to that when I was little. So MMLP2 was the first Eminem album I listened to upon release, and it was just an album I listened to for forever, especially like the coincision of like having like songs like Bad Guy, Survival, Legacy. Like those are songs I listened to forever. Rap God, like songs that like I basically exactly, and like songs like that I basically just got entwined in my brain. That like that was like my first situation where I listened to Eminem and like listened to him a, a shit ton because that was just a moment in the moment.
I get
Like
you.
even then, like when he talks about like being in that song, like having I'm Sorry and like being in love with it then, like there's certain songs where like maybe if I would have found them at a different time, I would have loved them even more. Like when NF dropped new songs, like back when I used to live at your house, like when Green Lights got dropped by NF, I think I literally
Love
listened to
that
it
song.
30 I literally listened to it 30 times in a row the night it dropped. If it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't like it was nuts. I literally if like maybe per se if it was like dropped with the album, I'd view it differently. Not that it's one of my favorite, it's still a really good song, but like if it was dropped in a different situation, different time period, I feel like it's all circumstantial when it comes to music and like timing of it definitely is key. Um yeah. So I just feel like it like influences a lot. So that's why I felt like MMLP2 is my favorite, just because like that was circumstantial in the time period I listened to it. Not because I think it's his best music.
I'm glad you reminded me
Evidential.
of this disgraceful opinion.
But
Recovery though?
how can a decision
Recovery
be
was like right there for
disgraceful?
me. That's why
Recovery though?
But Recovery's in the same boat for me there. Because Recovery, when it came to like Not Afraid, Love the Way You Lie, were like the first songs I ever listened to by Eminem. So like you have like that emotional tie to it because that's where it brought me into listening to Eminem. Not because I'm saying that Recovery was like the best album of all time either. I don't know what the best album would be to me. Looking back, I'd have to say it's either Encore or the Eminem Show. I might lean more towards the Encore.
No one likes
Encore.
Encore.
I love Encore.
I like Encore.
I grew up loving Like Toy Soldiers. Like that was like one of like the most like
Great song.
like one of the best songs for me when it came to like listening back to old Eminem. Mockingbird is definitely like one of the
Actually
ones that like
solid.
was really fucking insane to me. Like that's also a really deep one.
I
Like songs like Evil Deeds and like One Shot, Two Shot were just like
One
dumb
shot,
songs that
two
I liked.
shot.
Yeah. Like,
Three
those are
I
like dumb
don't like
songs
that
I like.
album as I thought I did.
That's what it is for me. It's like songs here and there, like I basically like loved.
Okay.
So that's why like I don't. Do you listen to music to be murdered by?
Mm.
I don't listen to Eminem anymore. Like he releases new things, I couldn't care. I don't really
Well,
listen
that's
to.
what
Really?
that's what I was getting back to, the fact that you
Yeah.
don't like Eminem anymore, because we talked about that. Like when it
Well,
dropped
I
side,
don't
when we
like-
dropped
I
side A of Music to Be Murdered by, I asked you if you listened to it. You're like, no.
It's
Not
actually I did listen to some of it. It's actually pretty good music. I just don't care. I
Yeah,
don't care.
that's what I'm. Yeah, you're kind of just past the point of it.
After what the fuck was it? What do you after?
Shitty XV.
Yeah.
No, not that. The one after that was the real
Revival?
album.
Kamikaze.
Revival.
Oh.
No, Revival.
Shitty XV technically wasn't an album. Like it wasn't all his music.
It's not an Eminem.
It wasn't all
It's
his
not.
music.
It's a Shady King's record album.
Yeah.
It's just
Shady King's record.
Oh
Shady
my
Kings?
god!
No way.
Shit.
What the? Fuck
You're on to something there, Jameson. You want a record label?
Shady records.
Oh,
Wait,
I would
Shady
love
Records.
one.
Shady
Shady
records.
records.
You gonna sign me for my shitty, depressing music?
As long as you make intros for our videos.
Of course, I would love to.
Well, Revival, that's what he talks about. Revival, like he got so much backlash for it.
Revival.
Like he lost like a third of his fan base, I think he said.
Good. It was so bad. He lost me.
But that's like coming back to Revival and like listening to it again.
On CD. I own every single Eminem album on CD up until Revival, and I don't own any after because of that. I'm gonna burn it.
I don't listen to nearly any of these songs, but like going back to it, like Walk on Water, I thought was okay. It was really fucking weird. He made a collaboration with Beyonce. I'm like, this is a little odd.
Why is that odd?
It just felt like such a weird mashup for me. It was just like
He has like 5 songs with Rihanna. How is that a weird mashup?
But like Rihanna's different than Beyonce.
Yeah, she's different, but she's not that.
I just never would have like just Beyonce and Eminem is not a pair I would have picked for a song.
Yeah,
I
get what Steven's saying.
But like Walk on Water was okay. Chloroseptic, listening back to it, what they do like the remix with 2 Chainz. They did a remix with 2 Chainz on it. Remix. The remix of that I liked was a lot. But besides that, like River.
Isn't that the Ed
River was
Sheeran
really good.
song?
That's the Ed Sheeran song.
Ed Sheeran sucks.
True.
Maybe hot take. Also, another hot take.
Why do you think he sucks?
I just don't like him. Hot take. So I want to go back to your Not Afraid thing. That is one of the worst songs I've ever heard. I hate that song.
Going back,
I liked it at the time.
I skip it on my playlist currently.
It's definitely the reason. It was definitely the reason I listened to Eminem in the first place.
That's why I had a connection with that and Love the Way You Lie.
I get it.
Those were the first 2 songs I listened to by Eminem.
I mean, I never liked Not Afraid, but
the nostalgia aspect.
Even that, I didn't really like it, even for that. But Recovery was my second favorite album one time as well. And then I realized that it's really just a pop album. I mean,
especially
the Eminem show is my favorite, probably maybe my favorite album of all time. There's a few that are up there.
Like what? I'm actually genuinely curious.
Random Access Memories, I already said.
Yes,
The Eminem Show. Marshall Mathers LP is maybe up there. Some Shady EP maybe up there. And then I'm gonna pronounce this. Heroin.
No Donda.
I don't listen to Kanye. Lord
for you don't listen to Kanye. Why don't people listen to Ye, man?
I like Donda. I like
Donda.
I thought Donda was really good.
Donda was way better than Certified Lover Boy. I promise. I
don't like Drake. I don't like Kanye.
You got to start listening to Ye, man.
Okay, I don't like him as a person.
I don't like you as a person, but I still fucking listen to you.
I understand why you don't like people like Ed Sheeran. Maybe like I feel like it's just kind of like
I just don't like the music.
Drake and Ed Sheeran are kind of made for like radio music, to like where they're basically trying to make like especially Drake trying to make like the next big radio bop, because that's what they thrive off of, and especially attention for like the teenage girls basically.
Yeah, because Drake's a weirdo, but we're not going to get into that.
Okay,
I'm just saying that's what they're trying to like drive the music towards, is like finding that niche of like getting the next.
Wasn't my boy like waiting for somebody to turn 18 or something?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I've never really looked at
this. All I know about the situation is he used to text Millie Bobby Brown.
Isn't that
She she plays 11 in Stranger
Yeah,
Things.
yeah.
I mean, it's not okay. I mean,
No, not
I'm
at
not
all.
saying that uh, there was anything going on there. I'm not accusing him of that, but there doesn't really have to
We're
be.
getting away from the point.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, I want to make
yeah,
my point.
no.
It's not okay.
Yeah.
But you want to talk about Kanye?
I never really listened to him a lot, besides like the basic like stronger
I don't
or heartless stuff like that.
I don't
Before
love his
Donda.
I don't love his music. It's not to be. I don't like him as. I don't know him as a person, obviously, but from what I've seen, I don't really want to support his music.
What's your favorite Donda song?
Ooh, favorite Donda song.
Dude, you don't even know the album. It's mean nothing.
That's
to
a
you.
decision.
What do you mean? I said I listened to
listen to the
Donda.
album.
Donda's the
Oh,
only
you
one I've
did.
listened to. I never really listened to Kanye before it. I mostly listened to Donda because Frank's stupid ass was obsessed with it, and that's all
Yeah,
I
I
heard
know.
for like 2 months straight.
On Twitter, it was like, "She's very a Don." I'm like, Frank. I hope Frank's listening to this. He's probably not.
Probably not.
I hope he watches to
Probably
this
not.
part.
No.
Frank, nobody
I'll
cares
send him
about
a-
your opinion on Donda as an album.
I'll send him a clip of this album.
Send him a clip of this. Nobody cares.
Please do.
Moving on.
For me, I'd have to say, there you can go.
Personally, I like Heaven and Hell.
I like Hurricane, Jonah, and Off the Grid. I want to say either Jesus Lord or Part 2, but they're just so fucking long. Like I can't like it's 9 to 10 minutes for a song. Like
man.
nah, this ain't happening.
No. Yeah, no, Heaven. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
11 and
my
a half
pick.
minutes for Part 2. It was a good album. But either way, so why don't you support Kanye's music?
I do want to make one thing clear. It's not because of how he interacts with the media. The media is a fucking parasite, and it's the one thing I respect him for. It's like the video. I'm like, it's like they're like in his drive. I'm like, get out of the man's drive. It's like 4.
Yo, my favorite thing in the world is the fucking video where they're just like, "Hey, yo, good morning, Kanye." And he's like,
Yeah,
"Shut the fuck up." Yeah.
Yeah, it's I very much hate the media in that perspective. On that side of the media, paparazzi, I guess you could call it.
We love
So
paparazzi.
it's not his interaction with that, and I do understand. I believe he is diagnosed with bipolar. I'm gonna double check that though before I even say anything, because that's not just speculation. Hold up, because that's not just speculate. He does have bipolar, right?
It would make sense with everything,
Okay, he diagnosed with bipolar in 26. Okay. I do understand that he has bipolar, and I don't know everything about bipolar.
I am a
disorder,
huge EA fan, man.
Okay, but
EA used to be my background. He used to hold up my fucking notifications.
It's kind of strange, but
nah, dude, it was just like a picture of him going like
it's
this,
actually
man.
kinda
He'd hold up my fucking notifications, man. I fucking love EA.
But back to my point before I lose my train of thought here. I understand he has bipolar.
Okay.
At this, that is, it does affect how you act and what you say and what you do, and I do understand that. I'm not blaming him for that, but at the same time, I do think, to some degree, he does get excused for a lot of the shitty things that he does.
As a lot of rich people do.
As a lot, I'm not saying it's just him that gets away
with
with
it,
but like, I mean, you talk about when he ran for president. That was, first of all, it's just dumb.
Really? You thought so?
Yes, it's dumb.
You didn't vote for EA, man?
I'm not saying he can't vote for.
I don't think it's dumb. I just think it's funny.
No, but that's the thing. I get. I said this when it was a thing. I get joking around. I'm all for having a good laugh. It's the U.S. fucking presidency. It's not a time for jokes.
Well,
gonna be honest, and honestly,
but I didn't think it was a joke.
No, I don't think it was a joke for him. But he was
Honestly,
also
people that voted for him's votes probably didn't really matter.
no. But here's the thing: I do think possibly as as he was, I think he was trying to take votes away from he ran 2020. I think he was trying to take votes away from Biden personally. Maybe he actually wanted to run, but if he really did, could he have been like any less prepared for it? Maybe not. Not to get political or anything, but purposely taking voters, like probably like tens of thousands of voters potentially away from a candidate. I don't think it's a good use. That's kind of abusing your influence, I think, if you're not really serious about running, which I really don't think he was. So that's a problem I have with them. And then I didn't see this till about a week ago. Kaya showed me, actually, the famous music video.
Okay.
Have you guys seen it?
Yes.
When it's like
No.
the naked bodies. That's the one, right? It's famous, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Steven, it's him in bed with a bunch of naked people. They're most of them. I think there's a few that are actually in there, but most of them are like wax figures.
Yeah.
And he put them. It basically looks like a fucking snuff film. Like it's not even a music video. It's literally just like a shitty camera, like going up and down the naked bodies of celebrities, mostly women, but some men too. And just like breathing super heavily without any music for like half the video. And like it's kind of disturbing to watch, to be honest. And he's like, oh, it's an artistic thing, and he like wanted to be quote unquote.
What a lot of the Donda stuff is. Donda is like all his, that's basically what all of his music is artistic. Like he views like his own crazy. I'm not. Shut the fuck up for 5 seconds.
Yeah, shut the fuck up for 5 seconds, man.
It's artistic, no matter where he like views it. I don't think it really is. Like it's just weird. It's whatever he wants to do, and like because he has that fame and notoriety, he can do whatever the fuck he wants and basically put it out there, and people will be like, "Oh my gosh, it's amazing," but he thinks it's artistic because that's just how his mind works. So I understand. I don't know, that video sounds weird as shit, and a lot of like his Donda stuff is like really drawn out with like a lot of like production, artistic beats and stuff, which isn't horrible, but it's all very different.
Okay.
Yeah, Donda over CLB though. I'm not gonna cap, man. I'm not gonna sit here and lie.
Donda. CLB just sounds like it was made for teenage girls.
And that's the creepy thing, man. That's the creepy aspect.
That's just
like, this isn't any Take Care. This isn't Take Care anymore. We're not in like 2013.
Yeah,
good old days. Those were great moments.
But my thing is, I love Drake. I love Drake. But it's just like, man, why?
There's no difference to the music for Drake, I feel
like I'll sit there, bro, and I'll put on Drake if I actually want to fucking cry, But like, why? That's my biggest question. Why?
Just why?
And like, how are you gonna put Drake over Ye, man?
The thing is, Kanye would say you're such a fucking hoe.
Okay.
I love it.
Let me finish my point on Kanye here.
Okay, finish your point, please.
Let me finish my point here. Steven, I love weird shit. I'm all for it. My favorite movies are fucking weird.
You're kinky is what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying like just sexual. I'm just saying like out there stuff. And Kanye does do some out there stuff. And he, for the most part, is pretty artistic. I will respect him for that. He does his own vision. He does his own vision, and I respect that. Here's the fucking problem. You can make weird and quote unquote artistic shit all you want. What you don't do is recreate the bodies of celebrities without their consent and have them naked in a bed with you. You don't do that. That's fucked up. He did not get
it's crazy
consent from those people.
And I argue that that's fucking weird.
It's not just weird though. That's what I'm saying.
It's very
raw. It's very raw. It's very fucked up. And like on it. Okay, so I'm about to defend Taylor Swift here. Kaya's got fucking. Hope she can't even hear me. Kaya's got fucking Taylor. She keeps listening to Taylor Swift. It's on my mind now. But so I'm sure everyone.
It's over.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you guys know about like what happened. I think it was like the music awards when like Kanye like went up on stage when Taylor won the award or whatever.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
First of all, that's I mean that's just shitty to do. But then like so there was that drama. I guess they kind of became like friends or whatever, and like there's all that drama like a few years ago with like Kim calling Taylor Snake, and I keep on fucking talking about this.
Bro.
And like Kanye doing all this shit. Uh, and for the song "Famous" itself, uh, Kanye asked Taylor if he could
A
put certain.
Donald Trump.
There is Donald Trump in there, naked, but he asked Taylor if he could put certain lines in there. She said, "Yeah, I guess, whatever." He put lines in there he said he wasn't gonna put in, so that's one thing. But they had that beef going on, right, with the song in general in the past. If you watch the video, Kanye's in the middle of the bed.
Yeah, I'm
And
watching it right now. It's really weird.
Kim is on his one side and Taylor's on his other.
Yeah.
That's a fucking ego trip if I've ever seen one. Also, and then there's a shot, right? It's like from like above, like super above the bed. There's a shot.
I'm
There's
just
four
staring at
people.
these pierced nipples.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird. But there's a shot, and it has Ray J. Is that his name? The person who
Who hit it first?
The sex tape.
Yes.
That made her famous. Yeah.
Yes. There is those two on one side, and then Kanye and Taylor on the other.
Also, imagine being Kim, like being married and being okay with this getting put out.
I don't know why. I think it was actually. I don't think it was a wax body. I think that actually was her. I think there was a few people that were actually there. I'm pretty sure. And some of them are like Rihanna was in the bed. Not actually, it was a wax figure. She was okay with it. But I don't know if you guys would agree with me, but with all that shit in mind, I would. That is sexual harassment to me.
I wouldn't say. Listen. I wouldn't say it's sexual harassment. I would say
it violates your own.
I would say it's more of a privacy,
which can fall. I mean, I think that could fall under sexual harassment.
But he's not.
Literally, he's okay. He is laying. Imagine you're Taylor Swift, right? You're watching this music video for the first time. You see Kanye. Clearly, this is actually Kanye, not a figure. He's laying naked in bed, and then on his right side, you see yourself laying naked, like under his arm. Are you not gonna feel like
weird?
Not even just weird, like, what's the harassed section? I don't know how to word this. Like harassed, like sexually. Like that is
no. I feel like it, like Steven said, it would be
feel violated.
Yeah,
privacy kind of thing. I don't. I feel like I wouldn't be harassed. I feel like
would
that
actually
would
call that sexual. I mean,
like harassment is like. When I think of harassment, I think of like sitting there and
Like the whole music video.
Somebody bothering
the whole video statement,
like over and over.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't really say. I've rarely been sexually harassed in my life, but I would say, me personally, I would find the music video much more disturbing.
I wouldn't be comfortable with it.
I'm not saying you'd be
but I wouldn't say it's harassment. I mean,
that's fair. That's fair. I think I think it's grounds for a lawsuit, personally.
Yeah, it could be. But it wouldn't be like a sexual harassment lawsuit. You know what I mean?
I think it should be personally, but I could see why you wouldn't think that.
It's like
I think we can all agree that you don't do that.
Either way, it's fucked up. It's weird.
You don't.
That's weird as fuck.
You really fucked up.
You don't do that, and that's my problem with Kanye. He has a lot of creative things that I do, and I think they're cool.
Yeah,
he has a lot about the media. Yeah, you don't know about it. Yeah, but about like the media, like I think his opinions are right. I like how he goes like really against the media in the way that he does. He does it a little too far sometimes, but like when it comes to like paparazzi and stuff, I do 100% agree with that. But there's some shit that he does that like Maybe he does it because he
Bill
has a
Cosby.
disorder. Maybe I don't know, but doesn't make it okay. It doesn't.
Right.
You can't do something like super fun. Like you can't murder somebody.
What if I had murder on my mind?
Well, then it's fun. Yeah, you can't have like bipolar and you sexually assault or kill somebody or do
And get
something
away with it.
something very heinous like that. I mean, actually,
I mean, technically,
with the
with
law is kind
yeah,
of
the law,
well,
you
like
can't.
more. I'm saying like ethically, morally, like I can't be.
In
It
the
doesn't make it
social
okay.
in the social view of things.
Yeah, it doesn't make it okay, and it's not like it's not like he's like doing it in the moment either, which obviously it still is not okay, but
Yeah.
he had time to think about this one,
Clearly.
like people also had to approve of this, like
go through and getting this done.
yeah, it's just not okay.
It also makes me wonder like how accurate they made these and how these are like literal like accurate portrayals of the body.
I mean, even if they're not, I mean, they look
Because like
real.
if they
I
went
would think they're real
through the physical work to do this.
I would think they're real people. It's someone's fucking job for one. Second of all, I would think they're real people. I would not be able to tell the difference.
Yeah. No.
They
No,
just
no,
look.
no.
They
That's what
look
I'm
like
saying.
real
That's what I'm
people.
saying. I wonder if this is like stuff they went through with and like found a way to figure out what they look like.
Yeah, that's just it's creepy.
Because that's
That's just
weird
creepy.
overall.
Yeah, it's creepy that they would even have to do that.
And he was saying special things to all these people after he put them in there.
Yeah, and I think it's just a first a Taylor or second. Yeah, it's just,
No, Taylor's like, oh, it's a couple.
or no, she's not Victoria's. Yeah, it's just it's an ego trip, and I personally I don't know obviously, but I think he did it for a sense of superiority. He never got over the drama with Taylor or these other people. I don't want to focus on Taylor Swift too much because there's other people too, but he I can't support him after doing something like that. And then it also comes into question, should I even support Eminem? Which I don't listen to his music. But I don't even listen to his old music anymore. But should I even like him as much as I do? It's kind of hypocritical in a way.
Yeah.
I think it is different because
I feel like you question yourself too much.
I think
Like I feel like no, I feel like okay, so like if we're talking about music, right? I'll listen to a lot of different people. Like I'll listen to like a lot of hype shit, right? Do you know Tokyo's Revenge?
I know
like,
Tokyo Revengers, it's an anime.
No, I love that fucking anime. But
it's pretty.
There's an artist named Tokyo's Revenge, right? And he had like that one really good song. Like he would be like, "Good morning, my name is Tokyo," like that. And like I really like that song. Like I really like his music, but you need to learn how to separate people from their music. You know what I mean?
True.
But like
actors from like their political
he had some like allegations of texting minors or something. I don't like the guy, but like I still like his music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I've watched a few videos on this,
Mhm.
and I'm not gonna judge anybody who still like listens to music, still listens to music or does separate the artist from the person. But you have to ask yourself, you are supporting the artist when you listen to their music. Like they get money for that. And there's
But what are you listening to the music for? Like I get it if you're sitting there and you're just like, man, I really like this artist. Let me go stream his new shit. Let's try to get it to like number one. I get that. But like at the end of the day, you're listening to the music for you.
Yourself.
Yeah, but you're giving them money.
But why does that matter? It's like,
okay, I have a perfect example for this. The video I watched was by a channel called Mother's Basement. Very one of my favorite channels. They were talking about a manga. James, you might know Ryuna Kenshin. What the how you pronounce it? It's like a sword thing. It doesn't really matter what it's called. But it was a manga, and the creator of the manga, he got caught with child Actually, can you even say that word on YouTube?
I'll blur it out.
Blur it out.
cut it
But
Yeah.
you guys, yeah, it's
I'm say child beat.
yeah, it's pictures of kids. You put the pieces together there, and he got caught with those. And you have to ask yourself. Obviously, he had to buy these things, and if you were to buy a volume of his manga, he gets money for that. Even now, he gets money. Even you go to fucking jail, they get money for that. It's they get the royalties for that. And it's that money was being used to buy pictures and things like that. And obviously, when he buys those things, that supports the industry. I guess we'll call it an industry.
I feel like
The organization
that's
that
like a
puts
gray.
it together.
That's
But
like a
that's
gray
not
area.
what-
That's like where if you say like you're buying, like say you go to like a small coffee shop and like a small restaurant and like you're buying food there. Maybe you really like the food, you really like the place, and then
Like
they'll
Chick-fil-A.
like I'm saying like a small like a local restaurant. Local restaurants I can like use
Yeah.
that example. Like you go to like a local restaurant and what do you know? The dude that owns the restaurant using it to buy fucking hookers and crack.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
I
technically you're not indirectly trying to support him, you enjoy the product. Even if you don't know about that, like in that moment, like you're not directly trying to help him fund his hookers and crack.
Well,
Like
personally,
you're just trying to like eat the food.
I don't care if he buys the crack. I don't care if he buys I think I'll. Should I say the hot take? Should I take the hot? Probably maybe the
Go
hottest
for it.
take I have.
Sex workers.
We're not even going to talk about this because this could be a whole other episode. I think all drugs should be legalized, including crack. So I don't personally have a problem with him morally buying.
All right,
crack.
I was mostly basically just saying the fact of like doing like fucked up shit and
okay.
the moral picture to everyone else.
Yeah,
like, you're not directly funding that. Like
it's a gray area.
Yes,
but
that's where like people that like don't like actors. Like I have friends that don't like certain actors because of their moral and political stance. And I
Yeah.
go like actually make them not want to watch them in movies or shows because that's how they feel about them, or else they'll watch them and like have a negative portrayal of them already, which I understand because like sometimes it is hard to separate certain things from people, like Kanye with the weird fucking video, or that random guy with his. There's a line.
There's a difference.
There is a difference. There's always a difference. It's always all circumstantial. That's the thing. It's always circumstantial, and there's always a difference.
Very
I'm saying
much
like
so.
there's just some people also have a certain level of tolerance. So they're like, okay, like I'm not trying to help this person. I'm just doing it for my own pleasure of like watching this. Or like,
and you want to know the best way to do it? Watch it illegally.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Which I would never. I'm very against pirating.
Oh yeah, no, fuck pirating.
I'm very against it, but in this case, Jameson, for like the guy you're talking about, or this mangaka, or if the money, especially if you know the money is potentially being fueled towards something like very fucked up like that, pirate. They don't deserve
like
the money.
how do you like? Sometimes at that point, like you'd have to take it to like several extra steps to do that, and maybe even then you're putting yourself at risk.
Go look the song on YouTube. Go look up the song on YouTube.
Why?
Well, you don't have to do it right now, but like you could find that song on YouTube that's not official. That's pirating.
True.
So, I can go. If I want to read Ryuna Kenshin, whatever. Kenshin, I'll call it Kenshin. If I want to read that, I could look up chapter 1. I'll find it in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I've had to pirate manga.
I understand.
Literally,
in the situation of music, like using that as an example, I wouldn't want to inconvenience myself when it comes to like if like someone who don't stand by what they've done in their life for music wise. If I have their music on like a playlist, like I wouldn't want to like go out of the way to like have to go on YouTube to like listen to a song every time.
Bro, get YouTube Premium.
Why?
Never.
No ads.
Why?
Because no ads. I listen to pretty much all my music.
You're not supporting YouTube creators.
Boys, I love you to death, but we did say that we were going to cut this at an hour.
We got an hour 40. Oh no, actually,
yeah, we need to wrap this up.
No, but a lot of that.
Even though you say a lot of that, no, it's still pretty. Yeah,
I know. Okay, so
you can do the outro.
Yeah, we'll leave it off here. Surprisingly, a lot of ethical issues were brought up today.
Not
Talking
even
about
Without a
music
doubt.
in the context of music, of course.
I did
A lot of
enjoy
ethical issues
this.
brought up today.
I'm not
it was a good
drinking
talk.
next time.
Yeah, don't drink next time.
My
that's
like
the
the
best.
whole fucking room is spinning. I don't like this. I'm
All
not
right,
gonna
drink some
lie.
water.
I'm going
Drink
to
Now,
some
would
after
you
this.
say that certain artists have persuaded you that alcohol is good and that you should get drunk? Get crunk?
Yes. Without a fucking doubt.
I think we need to ban shots. Obviously,
No,
little
no,
You gotta
no,
ban
no,
shots.
no,
It's
no,
all
no,
just a
no.
little drunk.
Let's end it off.
I'm
Jameson,
gonna
go drink some
drink.
water.
No. I feel like I started this with a drink. I gotta end it with a drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah, drink of water.
But like, hold on.
Can we even include that in the video?
I'm gonna blur it out.
Can you
Yeah, I
have?
think you
alcohol?
can.
All right.
I'm gonna
Cold
blur it
ones?
out.
All right. Well, Jameson, please go drink some water.
I'm going to drink water right after
All right,
this. I
drink a- yeah,
promise
drink
you.
a ton of
I'm
water.
not feeling all right.
All right. Well, let me know if you really don't. If you're like gonna fucking like
Pass
some
out.
shit's gonna yeah.
I'll be like listen. Okay, so like the way my house is laid out, like I'm in the game room. My room is like 10 feet away. We're good. I'll be all right.
Well, let us keep in the loop and drink water. But
I'm gonna keep you in the
we're
loop. Don't
Gucci
you
gang.
worry, cutie. Oh, of
Yeah.
course we're Gucci gang. Who the
Beautiful.
fuck is doing this outro, man?
all right, I'm doing it.
It's
All right. So again,
Oof.
we've talked about a lot of ethical issues here, a lot of opinions. And all three of us have our own opinions on things, and we're gonna
facts.
fuck you. We're gonna continue to talk about them, and that's how interesting conversation arises. And if you like that interesting conversation, subscribe to the podcast. Give it another listen. If you ever watched episode 1
podcast
for the podcast, if you haven't watched episode 1, go watch it. It'll be in the end card, or probably linked in the description, or just go to the channel. You know how to do it.
Come check out the
and
pod.
yes, and yeah, it's been real, boys. Glad we talked
Yeah,
about music.
it has.
I didn't want to talk about it, but it was a little more interesting than I thought it would
I
be.
didn't. Nobody asked if you wanted to fucking talk about it. Shut up and do the outro.
Next week, Mr. Beast.
We're not talking about Mr. Beast. Next week, we don't know what we're talking about next week.
Let us
That'll
know
be
what the fuck to talk about, man.
Everybody, thank you for watching.
Thank you all.
That is it.
Thank
This
you.
was very,